guys, welcome to a new episode of Philosophy. In today's topic, we are going to discuss the ethical relativism. And first of all, my partner Katherine will explain what ethical relativism is.
Well, ethical relativism is the theory that holds that there does not exist universal rules in a society. This means that the individual's ethical performance depends on or is relative to the society where she or he belongs.
What is considered morally correct and wrong varies from society to society, so there are no universal moral rules. The acting depends on the society in which the individual belongs to.
There are not absolute or objective standards that applies to all the time and everywhere.
This theory was started by the sophistic and ancient philosophical school in Greece, which was constituted by Protagoras, Giorgio, and Prodico.
We are going to begin by giving you the different point of view of the sophistic philosophers. Herodotus have observed that in the different societies have diverse customs and traditions. The person that belonged to that society used to think that their tradition and custom were the best, were a good thing today. Oswald Spengler reaffirmed this 2,000 years later by saying that each society has its own criteria. The validity of the custom or tradition ends and starts with the society wants.
Protagoras retake this and think that there was nothing essentially fair or unfair, good or bad, but that it all rather depended on the society to be true. On the same way that the man is the one that imposes with what is good or bad, depending in its own measure. Meanwhile, David Hume believed that the moral beliefs were based on feelings and emotions rather than in rational thinking.
Aristotle said that if will, thought, and what we think are both correct and false, the same thing is and is not. It's impossible that a contradiction and its proposition are both true.
Plato says that if a man recognizes everyone else's opinion as true, he grants that the opinions against his own are true, making his opinion false, given that he recognizes the contradiction. But everyone else is bound to recognize the man's opinion, making their own opinions false, and this becomes an infinite contradiction cycle.
Socrates said that if we name an act as good, we have some notion of what is good and what is bad. That's why ethical relativism has a contradiction, because we have a general idea of what is good and what is bad. A general idea implanted not by a modern society. It was implanted by a big old society, and that's why the little modern society know what is good and what is bad.
I strongly agree with Spengler. There is no such thing as a universal morality. Our perception of good and evil, right and wrong, vary depending on the society in which we were raised on. For example, a person that was raised in the Tibet will not have the same morals as a person which was raised in Europe or in the Middle East. Or morality is nothing else but a mere reflection of the behaviors and customs of the society in which we grew up in. Therefore, there is no way to create a universal moral. By doing so, we would be destroying the individuality of each of these cultures and creating a rather dull and plain world.
Personally, I think that Spengler and Protagoras were right until a certain point. Everyone can decide what is good or bad to their measurements, but it is also affected by the society. They are moral and ethical laws, which you decide how to look at them. You can see them as good or bad, but they are laws that are generalized for almost all societies. For example, do not take advantage of physical disability of another person. Despite a lot of society respect this doesn't mean that all single person have to respect it.
But not everything is as simple as accepting everyone else's moral. There are things that may have been okay in ancient times, but nowadays they are not only useless, but rather counterproductive. We must not keep these ancient moral concepts. If it is not only imperative, but also crucial for our survival to change these ancient moral concepts if we want to create a modern society in which the individuals feel part of without losing their individuality.
Ethical relativism also has its contradictions. For example, if something is good for a person, it doesn't mean that it's universally correct. Slavery is a good example of it. In the United States, 200 years ago, slavery was correct and morally accepted. It's still being well seen in many places nowadays.
An example of this is that in the world there is over 40.3 million people living in modern slavery, according to the Global Index of Slavery. North Korea has the highest prevalence index, in which 1 of 10 of their citizens live in these conditions.
Then we have Eritrea, Burundi, the Central African Republic, Afghanistan, Mauritania, South Sudan, Pakistan, Cambodia, and Iran.
Even though it is not bad sin to have a slave in certain countries, there is something called the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that establishes that everyone is free. Therefore, there cannot be any person enslaved regardless of the culture or country. Thank you very much, guys, for watching our video. Likes if you like it, subs if you love it. And now that we've given you all the basis of ethical relativism, please try to practice this and try to argue with yourself whether if it's okay or not.
Thank you guys. See you in the next video.
Bye.